Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. We are talking about SSAS cubes. What is the purpose of the cube, especially multi-dimensional cube, right? So people may ask you this question in most of the interviews. Okay, why cubes? Why SSAS? Multi-dimensional cube, especially I'm talking about. So when you have data in the data warehousing, so data warehousing is going to be used to store the data, right? So tomorrow, if I wanted to create a report can be created in SSRS or maybe in Power BI, or you may use a Tabular to create a report. What is the problem now? If you're getting complete data, billions of data, you have to show the summary. Summary means you need to show the aggregated data, right? If you're getting the data from here and if you try to aggregate, for example, the customer wanted to know last 5 years of sales in India for Apple iPhone. You need to get the data, filter the data, aggregate the data, total the data, summarize the data. So all these things, if you're doing it at the SSRS level, it will become very, very slow. So that is the big problem here. So reporting will become very, very slow when you don't have a cube. Especially I'm talking about multi-dimensional cube. So what normally we create? We create SSAS cube. I'm talking about multi-dimensional cube here, which is going to be getting billions of data and which is going to be processing here. When you processing the data, I told you, right? You have a vegetable and you wanted to eat the vegetable. So what you do? You have to prepare a food. Who's going to be doing that? Your mother is going to be preparing a food for you, right? So this is the raw data. Remember this. It is what kind of a data? Detailed data. Means it is a raw data, raw vegetables. You have vegetables or you have a raw chicken. With that, can you eat? So this is the guy who's going to consume the food. This is the consumer, right? So if you have a vegetables here, raw data here, can I consume it? Yeah, you have to consume it. How? So you need to get the data, you have to cook it, and you need to eat it. So what happens? You have to know how to cook it. That is the first problem. Second thing is that you need to have 1 hour time to clean the vegetables, process the vegetables, boil the vegetables, then eat it, right? So all these things are going to be done at the consumer end. So consumer will not be very, very happy. People who wanted to see the reports, they will say, no, this is not waste of time. So what normally we do? We get the vegetables, we hire a chef. We hire a chef. What chef is going to be doing? Chef is getting the vegetables, chicken, and is going to be cleaning, processing, cooking, and he will be making the food ready on the dining table. So as soon as you go as a consumer, so he's going to be giving you the food. So you are very, very faster. What is the advantage now? So when you have a SSAS cube, it is going to be processing the data. So SSAS cube will make SSAS cube will make BI applications, super fast BI application. Normal BI application will become super fast BI application. Reports are faster. Remember this point. Reports are faster. Why reports are faster? Because I'm getting a large amount of data. One issue, you have a large amount of data. If you give the large amount of data directly to Power BI, so nobody going to be taking the detailed data. Everybody needs a summary. Summary means what? I need to have a branch-wise sales. I need to have year-wise sales. I wanted to have a branch-wise, year-wise, brand-wise sales. I wanted to have, customer-wise, product-wise sales, like that. Nobody needs detailed data. Everybody needs, summary data. So reporting always shows a summary. So who's going to be creating a summary? So this guy is going to be creating a summary. And so this is where the processing is going to be happening. So the same summary or the dashboard will get created. And if you don't have SSAS cube, so what happens? So your reports will become very, very slow. So normal BI application, if you wanted to make super fast BI application, definitely report will become faster. So you have to use what? Cube. Okay. So what is the purpose of a cube? Means reports will become very, very faster. Especially I'm talking about multi-dimensional cube. Reports are very, very faster because which is aggregating the data and Aggregating is important. Storing the aggregations. Store the aggregations as part of the multi-dimensional cube. Because of that, reports are very, very faster. Otherwise, if you bypass this guy, so data warehousing means we're talking about large amount of data. We're talking about large amount of data. If you bypass, if you leave this guy and directly take the data from here using a direct query, what it does, it is not going to store data in the RAM. It is not going to store the data in the RAM, but you're going to be you're going to be supplying detailed data to Power BI. When you store detailed data to Power BI and somebody has to process, who's going to be processing now? This guy is not processing, and you are getting the detailed data. You supposed to make the summary. That means you supposed to do the aggregations. So reports are will become slow. When the reports are slow, the first complaint from the end user is this guy or this BI application is cannot be used. For example, you go to ATM and you wanted to know what is your balance. ATM is taking 5 minutes of time to show you the balance. What will you say? You will say, this bank is completely ugly, useless bank. It is very, very slow. For example, you go to Amazon app and you wanted to search for latest, Apple iPhone. So the mobile is taking a lot of time to show you the data. What will you say? So if something is slow, the complete application is banned in the company, right? If something is slow, the complete application is banned in the company. Nobody is going to be using. They'll say that, yeah, Bhaskar team has created BA application, but if you click on any report, it will take a lot of time here. I don't know why. So why? Because you're directly supplying detailed data to Power BI and you wanted to have a summary here. If you wanted to have the summary, get the data, process the data, and show the data in the reporting format. So that is a big, very big, burden to the Power BI level. So we have to have one more guy in middle. So this guy name is called SSAS multi-dimensional cube. Am I clear? So why SSAS cubes is the interview question. So what you have to say? So when you create a SSAS cube, aggregations and aggregated aggregations are going to be happening, then the aggregated data is going to be stored. So I told you simple example. You have 10 comma 20. So this is going to be aggregating 30. The 30 will get stored here. So aggregating and leaving it useless. Aggregating and storing the data. Why we can store? Because this data is historical data. Nobody is going to be making the changes to the data. So you made a payment to Amazon.com. You bought a lot of products last month and it got delivered. So everything is fine. Will you modify the sales? No, you will not, right? So data warehousing will have a large amount of data. Once you load the data into the data warehousing, nobody is going to be modifying it. That is read-only data. If it is read-only data, can't we use aggregations? Definitely we can use aggregations. In the milk example yesterday, my mother is going to be aggregating the every month data, on the last day of the month. So what happens? The month is over, so we can simply aggregate, and the most important that my mother has to keep it here. Keep the aggregations also there. So SSAS also needs a lot of space to store the aggregations. So it is not going to be using only one aggregations. What is the average? What is the minimum? What is the maximum? What is the grand total, month-wise total, year-wise total, quarter-wise total? So lot of permutations and combinations are going to be created. Because of that, it is called as a multi-dimensional. Multi-dimensional because of lot of permutations and combinations of aggregations, not only one direct aggregations, right? So you have to do lot of aggregations. So that is going to be done in the cube. So if you go to Power BI, I wanted to have drag and drop, brand wise sales. I would like to drag and drop, country wise sales. I wanted to drag and drop country wise, year wise sales. I wanted to drag and drop country wise, year wise, category wise, subcategory wise, product wise sales. For each and everything, the summary is ready, the aggregated data is ready. So why SSAS multi-dimensional cube means reports are faster. How come reports are faster? Because detailed data and a large amount of data, probably you have 10, 20 terabytes of data here. So that data, you will not be able to directly bring it to Power BI and without having this cube, and you cannot create a report. So if you wanted to create a report, either you should be able to use the import. So when we use import, there are two options we discussed, right? Import is one thing. So import can take the data. It is going to be storing the data in the RAM. It is going to be compressing. But what is the size of the max size in Power BI? So only 10 GB. We're talking about 10 terabytes. Okay. The next one you have is direct query. Direct query, you can use it. It is not going to be storing the data in the RAM, but 10 terabyte of data when you bring it, okay, your data is ready. But after that, what the customer needs, they wanted to have the summary. Summary means you're getting large amount of data. You started processing the data. I need total sales. I need month-wise sales. Then Power BI will be slow because it has to do the summary for each and every report. So that is where the direct query also will become slow. So these two things definitely will fail when we have large amount of data. Forget about it. So we have to leave data warehouse. We have to connect it to cube and get the data so that your BI application will be very, very faster. So that is what is especially for the multi-dimensional cube. Clear? So I'm talking about multi-dimensional cube. But what is the purpose of tabular cube? Okay. Why tabular cube is important? So tabular cube is important, or it is not a cube, which is a model actually, tabular model. So here, what normally we do, we get some data. We get the data. Now, after the data, we give the data to the Power BI. In Power BI, you clean the data. You perform ETL operations. Later, you do the data modeling. Then you create some DAX and you create new information. Then later, you're going to be creating a lot of reports and dashboards. Okay, that is what we're going to be doing. For example, when we have 100 GB of data here, it will become 10 GB of data. I should be able to use it. Clear? So I can have 10 GB, 20 GB, fine. But if I have too much of a data, if I have too much of it, for example, thinking about you have too much of a data, 200 GB of data, it will become 20 GB. So can I use 20 GB here? You cannot use it. So what you need to do? So we discussed you have to cut this into two pieces, data set 1, data set 2. So 100 GB and 100 GB, 100 GB and 10 GB here. And you wanted to create lot of reports on the 200 GB of data. You create a data set, and after that you create some 10 reports, and with the help of 10 reports you wanted to create a two dashboards. So you need to make what split, otherwise you will not be able to store the data. So you create one more data set here. You create one more data set here, and here you would like to create some 8 reports, and after that you would like to create some 3 dashboards. So this is going to be done. But if you have some more amount of data, you have to again split. So whatever be the reason, you're splitting, you have some 200 GB of data, so approximately you have some 30-40 tables. You're dividing 20 tables there, 10 tables here, and every time you're cleaning the data, performing everything, and after that creating a reports. Instead of doing that, so instead of creating, get the data set and data modeling, you have to do everywhere. So you get the data, you do the data model, and only this guy can consume. So instead of doing like that, what we can do, we create a data, get the data. So for example, I have 300 GB of data, I have it. Clear? I wanted to get the data. I wanted to model the data. So instead of going everywhere and modeling the data, for example, I have so much of a data here. So I don't want to 300 GB of data. You cannot give it to a Power BI directly. So what we do? So instead of modeling in the Power BI level, cleaning at the Power BI level, you use tabular model cube. Okay, tabular model. So normally it is not going to be creating a cube, only it is going to be getting this data. complete data here. You create a data modeling. You clean the data first. Before you're doing anything, you perform ETL operations, clean the data, transform the data, you clean the data. After that, what you do? Data modeling we can do. And DAX queries also we can write, and we create a tabular model. Cube, all the data is going to go here, which is going to be compressed. So tabular model is going to be using a columnar database. We know what is a columnar database, and which is going to be compressing the data. So as whatever we discussed in the Power Pivot. So when you get the data in Power BI, which is going to be storing the data in the columnar database. Columnar database means which is available in the RAM, right? Which is available in the RAM, which is going to be compressing the data. So which is going to be compressing the data, and which is going to store the data in the RAM. So however, your Power Pivot is storing the data the same way, but only thing is that tabular model doesn't have any, RAM limit. You can store more than 10 GB, 20 GB, but the limitation is you cannot have, there is a number, uh, I think 1,99,000 or something. So these unique values can be stored. So that is the point. You have very good, storage here, but it depends upon the complete RAM which is available there. Clear? So you should be able to get the data, clean the data, load complete data, which is going to be using columnar database, right? So columnar database, which is a 10 times faster, and you do the data modeling and everything after that. So in Power BI, you're not going to be loading the data in the Power Pivot. Simply in Power BI, you create a visualizations only. Power BI, you simply create visualizations only. We never ever create what is called as, we never store the data here in Power BI. We are completely storing the data here. And whenever you create a visualization, that time the tabular model is going to be processing the data giving. So since the data is available in the compressed mode, which is a 10 times faster, which is not going to aggregate the data. So as multidimensional is aggregating the data, keeping the data. So when we have GBs of data, you cannot store more than 10 GB of data here. And that is one problem in Power BI. Second problem is that if I'm getting a data, I have to model it. For example, I would like to create some 100 reports. So creating 100 reports by one developer is very, very impossible, right? So you have a data set. Let us understand, you have a limited data set only. You have 100 GB, and it will get compressed to 10 GB. Everything is fine, but I would like to create more number of reports. So then if that is the case, we will have a developer 1, we'll have a developer 2, we'll have a developer 3. So what normally we do, we get the data, and after that we create a tabular model. In the tabular model, what you do, you do the data cleaning and everything here itself. ETL is going to be done here, and then we are going to be keeping everything here, data modeling, and DAX also we can write it here. So you create a model, and so developer 1 is going to be consuming in his Power BI. So he will get this model, he will create a visualization. This guy is going to be consuming, he is going to be creating a Power BI reports. Okay, he is going to be using and creating a Power BI reports. So the modeling is centralized. Instead of everybody is creating, everybody is cleaning, everybody is creating modeling, everybody is creating a DAX, you can use tabular model to perform the ETL operations, data modeling and DAX, and only these guys are responsible for creating reports only. Clear? So you only create a Power BI visualizations. We never ever use DAX and everything, cleaning, nothing is will be done in the Power BI. Clear? So that is what is the advantage of tabular model. But normally when you have GBs of data, if you have any questions, so you should be able to ask me now. I have unmuted you guys. So the difference between multi-dimensional model is going to be aggregating the data which can be used for the traditional BI. Traditional BI means when you have a large amount of data, terabytes of data, so there you cannot use import query, direct query and get the data, right? But when you have GBs of data, and if I want to create a lot of reports, before creating the reports, you need to do the modeling. So if you give me data, I will do the modeling in my laptop. And one more developer is also there. He is also getting the same data. He is supposed to do the data modeling, cleaning everything in his laptop. So he's also creating some 500 reports out of that same data, and I should also create 500 reports out of the same data. So he's also modeling, I am also modeling, he's also creating decks, I am also creating decks. What is the use? So you have to centralize the modeling. So that is where tabular model going to be used to create only the data modeling. What is the modeling? Modeling means creating a relationships, creating a DAX queries and everything. You can speak if you have any questions. Anybody has anything? So end of the day, we're talking about tabular model cube. So let me show you how to create a tabular model today, right? So create a tabular model cube. So for example, you have some data. Data may be coming from the database may be Excel sheet. So 100 GB, 200 GB data cannot come from Excel sheet. Remember that. So if you have a large amount of data, 100, 200 GB means it has to come from SQL Server or Oracle only. So, Excel, CSV files will be with 10 MB, 20 MB like that. Clear? When you have so much of a data, so definitely the data may come from data warehousing or from any database. Clear? So if you wanted to create a tabular model, first you have to know the source. Clear? The second step, you should know what kind of a reports my company wanted to create out of my data. So that is also you have to know, right? So then what kind of a dimensions they have and what kind of a facts they have. If you are creating so you assume that you got some database like AdventureWorks data warehouse. So they don't have terabytes of data. So what is the size? How do you know the size of the data warehouse? So go to SQL Server, you go to the database. So data warehousing is a database. So what kind of a database it is? Large database. So which is OLTP database, which is a OLAP database, or you can say this is a data warehousing database. So people who did not attend data warehousings, don't worry, you have to know two things. Data warehousing means a database, but which is a large database. That's it. Only that point you need to understand. So what is the size? Let me tell you. So how to get the size? Go to properties. Now it is having 92 MB of size. Okay. So the size of the data warehousing. So it is for training purpose. Microsoft is given to us. So we need not worry about this. But if you wanted to know, this is OLTP database and this is a OLAP database or data warehousing database. So you will be able to get the fresh data in this. When the fresh data is full, or every month you take the data and you're going to be pushing it here. So if you wanted to push it, normally we use ETL, SSAS packages and everything, right? So you have lot of tables here. So OLTP and OLAP, both of them will not be available in single server. In the real time, this will be available in one more computer. So since it's a training, I am showing everything in a single computer. So AdventureWorks, this will be available in one computer, this database. Clear? This database will be available in a bigger computer. Clear? So this is OLTP computer where your Java and Java application, .NET applications are going to be connected with this. So for example, you go to Amazon.com buying a product. Your data is going to come to this database. Later, from this to here, if you want to transfer the data, we're going to be using SSAS packages to move the data from one computer to another. Clear? So from using OLTP database, we create a data warehousing database. So how to create a data warehousing database? how to move the data, and all these things we're going to be discussing as part of our SSIS and data warehousing classes. But if you ask me, what is a data warehouse means? Data warehouse means where you have a large amount of data and where you have historical data, old data. Historical means what? Old data. Fresh data is going to come to the OLTP database. This is OLTP database. These two databases are given by Microsoft for learning purpose. Clear? You have to assume that both of them are available in a single computer in my PC. Why? Because it is a training, I can place anything. But in the real time, OLTP database will be available in a single one more computer, and where you have front-end applications are connected like Java, .NET, Android, all these applications are connected. Whenever you buy a product in Amazon.com, all the data is going to go here. Clear? So later from this, we're going to be getting the data. Who's supposed to give the data to data warehousing? Only ETL. So no Java application is going to be giving the data. So this is not the way. So Java .NET always connected to OLTP, and SSIS is to bring the data. So data warehousing, where you have a large amount of data, historical data, you have a two types of a tables. One table is called a dimension table. One more table is called as a fact table. In simple example, dimension table means where you have a string data. Fact table means where you have a numerical data. For example, customer name, customer address. Customer is a dimension table, right? So sales amount, customer is buying a lot of products, making a lot of amount, right? So he's paying the tax, quantity. So all these are numbers. Numbered data is called as a fact data. String data, char, var, char data, text data is called as a dimensional data. In simple examples I'm telling. So later we'll discuss about what is the dimension table, what is the fact table and everything. So if you wanted to work with a tabular model, you have to have either a data warehousing or a database. Any database you can also take it. You can take OLTP database and you create a tabular model, doesn't matter. Or you can take data warehousing database and you should be able to prepare your tabular model. So that is what is the point here. Am I clear? So guys, can you hear me? Shrivan is saying audio is lost. Okay, right. So data warehousing. Okay, data warehousing is what? Data warehousing is row database. All these are row databases, and columnar databases are tabular model as well as your PBI Power Pivot. Clear? So remaining things are completely your row databases only. Clear? Yeah. So tabular is a row-wise node. Tabular is completely columnar database. That's what I told you. I have written, right? So if you see tabular model columnar, have you seen this? Swapna. Yeah. So tabular model is what database? It is columnar database, which is going to be storing the data in the column format. So previous batches I discussed about how the data will get stored in the columnar database. For the people who did not attend, the Power Pivot classes, they're going to be attending the Power Pivot and DAX from next month. So for them again, I'll be discussing about how it is going to be stored. Columnar means clear. So which is going to be using a algorithm called Pack. So Pack algorithm is going to be used not only here but also in Power Pivot. So it is going to be used Pack algorithm, and which is internal algorithm. So what is that algorithm? We do not know, but it is a Pack algorithm which is going to be applied in the RAM, which is going to be compressing the data and storing the data in the columnar. So there are two places where columnar. One is called in tabular model we'll have this, and Power Pivot also. Power Pivot itself is a tabular model only. Remember that. Power Pivot, we simply say Power Pivot that Power Pivot is nothing but a tabular model cube only. Remember that point. Clear, guys? So that is what is the point. Now, assume that I wanted to use and I have, let us say, some 100, 200 GB of data Now I wanted to create a tabular model cube. So first of all, you have to know why we have to create a cube, right? So why we need to create and what is the purpose of this BI application. So if you wanted to create a report, BI means reporting, right? End of the day, the data has to be, seen by the end users, the managers. They wanted to have everything to be displayed in the report only, right? So what kind of reports that they wanted to have it? So what kind of a data they wanted to have it? So first you need to understand the existing system clearly. So understand what is the data that they have it. If you wanted to create a tabular model cube means I would like to create a tabular model cube. If you wanted to create tabular model, you're going to be modeling the data. So data modeling, you're going to be doing creating, and you will create a new information. New info can be created. So before that, you also clean the data. You also clean the data. If you have duplicate data, so definitely cleaning means we are going to be applying lot of transformations, right? So all these things we need to do. So you need to understand what kind of a reports that you have to create. So because you're trying to create a tabular model cube, now before creating a tabular model cube, you need to understand what kind of a reporting that they would like to have it. So understand existing system. So existing maybe OLTP or maybe data warehousing system where the it is what is the data source where the data is available, and understand what kind of a reports they need, what is the report requirement, okay, what kind of reports that they would like to have it, or what kind of a dashboards that they wanted to have. And you should also study the existing reporting. You study the existing what kind of a reports currently they're using it in the current system. So study the existing reports as well, KPIs, dashboards. So after studying all the complete system, you create a tabular model cube. Otherwise, you create some data, then end of the day, they need some kind of a data, you don't have it. You don't have it. So then again, you have to go to your data tabular model cube. You need to bring the tables, do a lot of other informations, right? So first of all, you need to understand what is the requirements the company wanted to have out of this data. So where is the data available? So and what kind of a modeling we can do, what kind of a cleaning we can do. You don't have some data, we have to derive or create a new information. So to create a new information, you should be able to use the DAX queries and everything. DAX is very, very simple, which is widly used in your Excel sheets and everywhere. Clear? So that is what you got to understand, guys. Now I know that. So this is the data warehousing your company has given. So when I go here, I have a couple of tables. I have dim account, dim currency, dim customer, dim date, blah, 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 employee. So you will be given what table to use. You will be given what table to use. You cannot take thousands of tables and create, right? So somebody would have done analysis. For example, I'm the in charge of Power BI application. So you are the developer. You are a junior guy. So I'm the lead for this project. So I will talk to the company owners. I will understand the reports and everything. So I'll say this is the table to be used. This is a table to be used. This is a table to be used. I create a documentation. I'll say these are the table to be used. So I will say these are the new information to be created. So I'll gather requirements from them. I'll understand. I create a designing a document so that a developer, when you join the company, you can easily understand. Otherwise, you directly cannot talk to the client because you're a 3 years of guy, and you cannot, take complete load and understand the business and create this kind of a things. There is a lead or architecting guys will be there who's supposed to talk and gather which tables we supposed to have it, which reports we need to create, and what is the data available, what is the data not available, so that we need to create a new information using the existing system. So all these things are discussed, created, approved, signed off. The documents are ready, so the documents will be given so that you can simply go and create the model and everything. Let me show you what are the tables we supposed to get. Let me show you customer table. I would like to use it. So So dim customer table, let me use it. So it is Adventure Works data warehouse. Okay. So this is the one I'm going to be using. So I have total 18,000 rows. If you see this list, 18,000 rows I have. Clear? But you want me to take complete data? So this is what, right? I told you, we get the data. We have large amount of data, but we need to perform some ETL operations. Whatever be the data we need, we have to get the data and clean the data. So if it is a Power BI, you get the data here. Okay? Power BI, how do you get the data? You go to Power BI and you're getting the data, cleaning the data, and modeling everything here. Because, so I close this, I go to transform data, go here. I wanted to get the data, SQL server name is dot, and database name is control C, control V, and import query. It is going to be getting, or you can use direct query, whatever you would like to have it. I have limited data, let me use import. Now, the first problem here, you need to clean the data here. Okay. You have to get the table. For example, you wanted to get a dim customer table. Let us talk about only one table. You get the data here. Then you have to clean the data. You have to do whatever you wanted to have it. So let me bring the data here. It is bringing the data to Power Query. I wanted to apply some transformations here on this data. I have 18,000 rows. It is going to be reading out of 18,000. It is going to be loading only 1,000 rows now, right? So I got this data, but I have a customer key, geography key, customer alternate key, title, first name, middle name. All these columns I don't name. Name style I don't need. Let me delete this, remove it, and marital status I don't need. Remove it, and suffix I don't need. Remove it. Lot of things I'm doing, and okay. So date, first purchase, and dim geography. Lot of things are, no, I don't need. I would like to delete lot of data here. And I have a first name, middle name, last name. I have to create one more transformation. How to create? First name, middle name, last name. You need to go and you have to say merge. So go to transform tab. Somewhere you should be able to find out the merge columns. You should be able to apply some transformations. So what is the merged column? Full name, and I want to have in between a space, right? So you are going to be creating there itself, or I want to create, I would like to add a column and I would like to transform. So I would like to do there itself. So go click on the merge column. So it is a full name. All right. So I would like to delete some columns. I would like to have space in between. So a lot of things I'm doing it here, right? So after that, what I say, I'll go and close and apply. So like that, all the tables data you're getting it, you're loading, then you have to do the modeling, creating a relationship. Now everything you're doing, but when you do it, it is available to you. It is available to you only. So the later, if you wanted to share this to others, then again you need to do a lot of other stuff. But when you have large amount of data, it will be difficult. So instead of doing everything here, I don't want to do ETL in the PBI. Only I supposed to create a visualizations. So these two things, ETLs, nothing can be done. So everything I'm going to be doing where? In the SQL server end only. Clear? For example, I don't want to get this data. So first of all, I have to get the data. So I got the data. What is the table now? I have to get the dim customer data. So I need few columns. Only I need a few columns. And this is one requirement. Second column, I need a full name. So these kind of a transformations I have to do it. Clear? This kind of a transformations I have to do it. So what we are going to be doing. So that is what is very, very important here. You go to the data warehouse or a database. So build a report layer. So the report layer means you perform the ETL operations. You clean the data. But where you can clean the data in the SQL server, So that is what we need to understand. So here we are going to be getting the data from tables. Okay. So you have a lot of tables. Get the data from the table, and for each and every table, you create a view. This view, you supposed to give it to this fellow. So this is where you create a build report layer. That is what is called, you do the ETL operations here. You apply a lot of transformations here. So there is a concept called view. Views, store procedures, and functions that you will be learning as part of the SQL Server, right? You get the data. Table data means complete data, but I don't want to use the data as it is. I wanted to clean the data. But I need only few columns. Complete table I don't need. I wanted to perform some transformations. Like I would like to get full name, then later I get all the tables. I do the data modeling. Data modeling means what? Creating a one-to-one, one-to-many, this kind of a relationship. And after creating that, I'm going to be creating a DAX queries and everything. So all these things I'm doing where? In the SQL Server, and I'm not going to touch Power BI. Power BI only I'm going to be using to get this model and create a visualizations like this. Okay. To create a visualization, I'm going to be using Power BI. In Power BI, normally we clean the data and we transform the data, we do the data modeling. But transforming data modeling, nothing I'm doing in Power BI. Power BI where I create a visualizations, right? But which place you're going to be doing means get the table, you create a report layer. Okay, so this is where you do the cleaning. This is where you do the lot of things. So how to get only your data? How to get your data? I don't need all these things. I need only few things. So we have to create a view. So first of all, you should know what is a view, right? So that is where you should be studying proper SQL Server. Then with the basic knowledge, you cannot go create a view, VW, you can say customer, or you can say dim customer, whatever be the name. As you can write a query. So I don't need star. Star means all columns. I would like to only take a few columns, right? So what are the few columns you would like to have it? That you should be able to bring it. So how to bring the columns? It's very, very simple. You need not to type the columns, right? So let me go to the table. Which table I'm talking about? I'm talking about dim customer table. I don't need all the columns. So I need customer key. This is the primary key. So definitely we need to have a primary key, then comma. So normally we put comma, but in the real time, this is the place where we'll put the comma. And I don't need title. You can have the first name, bring and put comma. Then I need middle name. Okay. Then I need last name. So whatever be the column that you need it, so you need not type it. So I need last name, name style, birth date. I would like to have comma and get the birth date. Okay. And I want to have suffix and gender. So gender column, I would like to have it, drag and drop gender. So all these things would have been discussed in the designing document. What columns you need, email address. Yes, I would like to have the email address column. So and yearly income. Yes, I would like to have this yearly income. And this is how you should be able to have yearly income, total children, English education, Spanish education, all these things I don't need. So let me take address line one. I wanted to have it. So phone number, date of purchase, commute distance, blah, blah, blah. I have some data. So this is the data. I have it. Now let me execute this. Only the query I want to execute it. So I'm able to get 18,484 rows. So I'm able to remove a lot of columns by writing a query. But I don't need first name, middle name, last name. So I have to apply transformations. So what I need, I will take, so first name, middle name, and last name, right? So when you have this data, I would like to concatenate this data. So how to concatenate it? So we need to say, you can use concat is so concat is there, and it is a function to concatenate. What all we need to concatenate? First name, okay, then the middle name, then the last name as full name. Okay, then let me execute this. So you're writing a coding now. You're writing a coding. So full name you should be able to get it. John V Y Yang. So like that you can use. Or if you don't want to use, you can use any other this one. So you can use is null. So a lot of other things are available, right? So you should know which function I have to use it, and you should know, in which varieties of the code I can write it. So all these things you can learn in your, you know, this one in your SQL Server. So I have used concat, so I should be able to have it. Then if you wanted to have in between some space or column, I think we can use concat WS with I think we can also use like this. So you should be able to, if you wanted to get a space means, you can use one more function called a WS. Okay. So it will tell you, between each, letter. So what is that you want to have? I would like to have a space, or I would like to have a comma. So first name, comma, middle name, comma, last name. It is going to be concatenating everything, and which is going to be giving you some information. You should know all these things. So John, comma, V, comma, Yang, like that. If you don't need anything, simply remove, give the space here. So these are the functions that you have to know in SQL Server, so that if you don't know, at least you can just Google it. You should be able to get it. So I am creating this view, create a view, and where I'm creating in this. So okay, make sure you're pointing to this. So here you have to create this function. So what has been done? You have cleaned the data. For example, I don't need some data. You can apply some where clause and remove some data, filter some data. Filtering is can be done with the help of a where clause, right? So in Power BI, we have a filtering options. So you can also apply where clause, filter the data. So all the transformations and everything is going to be done in the view. View is your ETL. Clear? So where can you see the view? View can be seen in your tables. Below that you have a view. The view we have created just now. What is the view? View customer or dim customer. So this is the view we can create like that. So what is the next table I'm talking about? This is one table I have used it. The next table, so customers are going to buy products, right? So there is a product table. So let me control C, control V, dim product. So what table I have to use, your manager lead or documentation has to tell. Otherwise, you cannot simply go and take all the tables and create. So they will give you this is the tables, you must use it. If you don't have the documentation, ask them. So if you don't ask them, then nobody will tell you, right? There are some thousands of dishes. What is that you wanted to have in the hotel? You say, I need that pizza. I need this pizza. That you need to ask. Chef cannot understand, oh, this customer came and he needs that. So nobody knows about it. Even though you are new to the company, or you're an old employee in the company, you need to know what tables to be used and what reports can be created. That kind of information you have to get it. If nobody is giving, you need to ask them clearly. I need to know which table I should use to create a tabular model. Do you have any documentation? Give me that. You let me know what kind of reports I supposed to create. Do you have any documentation? So all these things you need to ask. Now there is a product key and English product name, and I have a product name. Then I have a French product name. Lot of things. Again, for this you have to create a one more view. So like that, we are going to be creating views. So the view is called simply view product, or you can say view dim product select. So all the columns we don't need, actually all the columns we don't need, and we are going to be getting only the few values. But remember, so what are the columns you wanted to have it? Go to dim product. So product key, I have to have it. So select product key, primary key, we need to have it. Then put comma here and the product name. What is the product name here? English product name. Simply you take and you say simply product name. Why English product name? You can give the alias and put comma here. Spanish product name, French product name, color of the product. Okay, black, blue. I would like to have it. Then the safety locker level, size, so weight and days to manufacture, product line, lot of things are available. Dealer price, class, style, whatever you want to have, large photo and for product photo is also available. Then Thai description, German description, Turkish description, start date, end date, lot of things are available. So whatever you want to have it, so that the people will tell you. So last price, list price, so that you wanted to have it. So it is not on my own. So this is a requirement. So they told me I'm simply keeping this, right? So I wanted to execute this query. I'm able to get, but product name is there. I don't have a category and subcategory. Where is the subcategory? Where is the category? So I have a product category table and I have a where you have English product category and subcategory where you have English, subcategory. So I have to bring category and product category from these two tables. If you wanted to get the, data from multiple tables, you need to join on the common column. So how these tables are linked, let us understand. So if you wanted to see how these are linked, you simply go and create a database diagram. New database diagram. If the databases diagram is not working, sometimes you will get errors. So the permission is not there. This is not there. That is not there. If you don't have that, if you are not able to create, then you just Google it. You should be able to understand. It is an authorization problem. For example, so you will get some issues. So DB diagram issue in SQL. Okay. When you say like that, they will give you a lot of let me go and show. You will be able to get some things. Okay, so these guys are telling what is deprecated removed feature, is it? I'm asking something, it is telling me something. You're able to get it, there's no problem at all, but sometimes we will not be able to create, okay, database diagrams. If that is the case, you have to, or will rephrase the query. Okay, not able to create database diagrams in SQL Server. Yeah. So now you see it is giving, this is what you should do it. So use this example and create. If you're not able to do that, so this is the one I'm telling you to use it. Copy this and you go. For example, sometimes you will get an issue. As soon as you click on this, you want to create, you will get some issue. So to resolve it, what you need to do, you have to go and Google it. So this is the command you should be able to get. What is the command? Alter authorization, blah, blah, blah. So this is the command you will be able to get it. So go here and copy and paste it. So what it is saying and where you are getting the issue. Alter authorization on database. So what is the database where you are getting the issue. So the database name you need to write. Database name is this. Drag and drop this. Clear. And to, so it is especially you don't have the permission to create a database diagrams. So where you would like to create alter authorization on database colon and to whom you need to give the permission. So you have to close this and close this. Below database will have a security. You open logins. You will find your name somewhere. So this is my name, right? So you drag and drop like this. That's it. So if you're getting any kind of an issue, this is the command you need to execute it. Okay. For example, tomorrow I am getting some issue here. I'm not able to create. For example, I say, I would like to see the database diagrams. I right click on and say new database diagram. See now, cannot execute the database principle does not exist. So I am not able to create. So what should I do? Same thing. I have to go to here. I'm not able to create, right? Now you go here. You have to change the name of the database. You go apply. Now I have to close this and collapse complete databases. Below that you will have a security. Open this. You will find your name. So this is the name already there. Now let me execute. I'm able to execute it. Now you go and you go to databases and you go apply, right click and open it and go to database diagrams, new database diagram. Now you say yes, I'm able to get all of them. Have you seen this? Now, if you get any kind of an issue, so this is the command that you have to use it. What is the database name? And you will be able to get your user ID. Where? So don't go to this security. Don't go to this security. I'm talking about security, not in your database. I'm talking about collapse everything. Below databases, you will have a security. Open this and you have to open logins. So you will be able to find out your name. So this is the command. You have to use it and you should be able to have it. This is the database name that you have to give it. Clear, guys? So this is the credentials that you need to give it. I'm giving you in the charting window. You can just keep this forever. Clear? So if somebody needs this, you should be able to copy and paste it somewhere so that you should be able to get it. Okay. Now, if you want to perform any ETL operations, so in the SQL Server end, the better place is that where we are going to be creating a views. So this is where you should be able to create it. Now I'm talking about, I want to get the product name, product category and everything, right? Because when I execute it, I don't have the category, but the category is available in one more table. So I would like to see how the tables can be joined, right? To see that, go to database diagram. So I have to look for dim product, product category, and subcategory. Take only these three tables. Now understand. Now see, dim product category primary key is mapped here. See, product subcategory, product category joined, and product and this primary key. This is the primary key. So this is joined here. So this primary key is a foreign key here. This primary key is a foreign key here. So this is how you should be able to join the tables. If you want to join the tables, this is how you should be able to join the table. This product subcategory key is a primary key. Somewhere you should be able to find out product subcategory key. Now this is the one. Okay. How the tables have joined, if you wanted to know, simply create a database diagram. So this symbol for primary key symbol. So this primary key somewhere foreign key. What is the primary key? You can see this is a primary key. Somewhere it is there. And this primary key somewhere it is. If you want to join and get the data, because I don't want to have different tables for different, I would like to get all the tables and get the product name, subcategory name, all the names I have to bring it here. So I say as a P join. How to join this? So I know dim product is joining with dim product subcategory. You need to write like that. Dim product subcategory. It is say product sub. PS means product sub. On which condition? So we have to join both the tables on some condition. The condition is on P dot what? If you don't know, you simply go here. What is the primary key? What was foreign key? This is the primary key and foreign key. Copy this, and the same thing is available here. So on P dot product key and PS dot product key. And I would like to join one more table. What is one more table? Dim dot product subcategory I have joined. Now dim category. So dim product category. So how the product category table is joined? Product category, this primary key, and it may be foreign key. Okay. So somewhere product category key is a foreign key. So the same thing I have to use it. So this is a dim category. So on condition on. So which table to which table you need to join? So subcategory to category. Subcategory means PS, product subcategory dot this is equal to product category dot got this. So this is how you should be able to write the things. So after writing, so I need what column? I have joined all the tables. Now let me execute them. I'm able to get a product name, color, price, but I need to include uh, product category name, English product category name. I simply say simply category name, comma. I wanted to get one more column from here. So subcategory name also I would like to get English product subcategory. I'll say simply as a subcategory. Clear? So now select the discovery till this executed. Now product key, product name, color, price, size. So all of them are available. So it is coming from the different tables. I have joined and I would like to create this. And this is one more view I have to create. So this is a SQL query and joins you have to know. The second view is also created. The second view is going to bring the data from multiple tables. Now this is the view. Dim customer table is one, then the product table is one more. Clear? So where is the product table I have? So this is the one, is it? So VW product, right? So this is the one. This is the one I have to use it. So this is not the one. Let me delete it. It is not ours. So like that, you have to create multiple views, and tomorrow we'll continue. Then after that, we create a tabular model. We are cleaning the data, joining the data. We are changing a lot of things. If you wanted to modify something, all the ETL transformations and everything can be done. So these are not permanent tables. So when you simply tomorrow close this. So tomorrow I close everything. I close everything. So I wanted to read the data now. So how to read the data? Select star from the view name. So what is the view name? So this is the view name. I should be able to get this data. This is not a permanent table. It is it is a view. It is a logical table, which is a query. So view is a query, right? The query will get executed. So which is bringing the data. Now the next is thing. This is a view. This is not a persistent table, not a permanent table. It is going to go and get the data because within this you have a query. The query will get executed. What is the query? If you wanted to say it, right click on this, say design. So what is the query we have written? So this is the query we have written that is getting executed. So this is the thing. Clear, guys? Now I should be able to get this and I can use this, and tomorrow we'll see a couple of tables as well. First, we have to know what are the tables and what kind of a transformation you need to apply. So you have to build what is called as a report layer. or build a report layer. So you have tables. We are creating the views for each and every dimension table or simply a table. And later we are going to be using all the views here and we are going to be creating a tabular model. And this tabular model we are going to be consuming at the Power BI and create a lot of visual. Your ETL in Power BI. If you don't want to model, if you don't want to create data modeling everything in your Power BI, data modeling has to be done in the Tabular model means you have to do like this. So this is the way you have to bring the data, maybe data coming from data warehouse or maybe from OLTP database. Clear? So you should be able to bring and do the cleaning and everything so that you will be able to perform all these operations very, very cleanly and clearly. Am I clear? So dim products I have taken, dim customer I have taken. So tomorrow we'll take one fact table also. Clear? So that is also I'm going to be taking. So this is how we're going to be starting with this.